Hello, everyone. This month, our spiritual formation theme is deep listening. And as you have heard me reflect in a number of sermons and my other sharings, we need to be particularly careful about who and how we're listening because late stage capitalism incentivizes even the most reputable news outlets to be emphasizing the stories that bring up the most anxiety. We're more likely to listen, read, and click. They play off that human instinct that as we drive by a car accident, we slow down and crane our necks. UC Davis writing professor shared this, and I thought it was important because I know I definitely feel like this, which is she writes, we are all living in an abuser's house. An abuser is in charge of our lives. Hundreds of thousands of Americans are dead because of his abuse. Millions more are bankrupt, hungry, and frightened. When I take action to remove the abuser from power, I can breathe. When I stop acting, I stop breathing. Those of us who were raised up from childhood in the house of an abuser, and there are so many of us, we are ideally suited for this battle. We are not weak, we are not helpless. How did we survive childhood? We imagined a world without the abuser in it. We thought outside of the cage the abuser kept us in. The media in general has failed to do that, so we must be the ones to imagine ourselves and others outside of the cage he has put around us. The key right now is to imagine ourselves into the world we know we have the power and persistence to build. And that was UC Davis writing professor Pam L. Houston. It is our job, I think one of the primary jobs of those of us in a religious community, to have imagination, to be able to visualize and feel a reality that is different from our current one. And it's hard to do if we are just tuned in to media of any sorts. I'm recording this just after hearing the news about the coronavirus in the White House. And I'd be lying if I said I didn't feel some amount of hope how this could impact the election. But if anything, I hope it can just fuel our imaginations for a better, more loving, compassionate, and just world. In this month when we are focusing on deep listening, please continue to be aware of whom you are listening to and how you are listening. And what things do you want to be listening more to? Like, I'd recommend Adrienne Marie Brown and her blog Emergent Strategy. Monica Coleman is a process theologian who has been leading webinars on Octavia Butler's Parable of the Sower. You have options how and to whom to listen. This Sunday, Brian Wise, Steve Mendoza, and Jorge Torres will be leading worship with special guests. Will be participating in the National UU worship service, or broadcasting it rather. Broadcasting a worship service created by the National Office for all of our congregations, specifically around taking action in this moment. It features a sermon by our UUA President Reverend Dr. Susan Frederick Gray, who many of you know I was on her core campaign team. So I'm particularly excited to get to invite Reverend Frederick Gray into our pulpit. Take care, be well, and pay attention and be careful of whom you are listening to.